Ripa and Mark Consuelos were forced to air their talk show without a live audience amid the winter storm in New York City. Ripa and Mark Consuelos were left without a live studio audience during the January 26th episode of their talk show. The rare shakeup was caused by the ongoing winter storm affecting New York City and spreading across the country. Rather than dancing into the studio, the couple opened the episode seated at their desk, yet still received applause from the audience. "That's loud for 6 of you," said Kelly. The ABC morning show was forced to cancel its usual live audience due to the storm in the Big Apple. Nearly 1.5 feet of snow fell across the tri-state area from the weekend into Monday, while winter storms continue to cause severe weather across the country. "We are audience-free today, with the exception of the people that already work here," Kelly added. "Yay them. Yes, behold at the size of our staff. Gigantic. I like this. We haven't done this since COVID." Mark proceeded to deliver the weather report and shared that Central Park had 11.4 inches of snowfall. "That's not that bad for us in a massive snowstorm." "We've had worse," replied Kelly. Mark then revealed that he shoveled the sidewalk area in front of their home yesterday. "It was very dry. It didn't stick to the shovel, and when you kind of moved it, it would fly off," he explained. Kelly then shared that she wanted to do the shoveling as her workout routine for the day, but her husband was against the idea. "You told me it won't be satisfying for you. There's no workout in it." "So then, once I heard that, I was like, oh, forget that," she recalled. The talk show star went on to share that she had hoped the absence of an audience would mean they'd get the day off. "In the streets of Brooklyn, everyone is trying to just get up, out the house, and to start to dig out," said ABC 7's Phil Tate reporting live from Brooklyn. "New Yorkers are going to be New Yorking today, no matter what." "I mean, that's the one thing," replied Kelly. "You know, Phil, I really want to get that guy that's shoveling gloves. He was glove-free, and he's wearing a hoodie." Kelly and Mark are no strangers to New York City's unpredictable storms. The couple previously gave Architectural Digest a peek inside their $27 million townhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Kelly and Mark purchased the lavish abode 12 years ago and transformed it into a modern living space with notes of French and old Hollywood glamour inspired by the film Mommy Dearest. The kind of quiet that only comes with heavy snowfall, when the city that never sleeps presses pause and listens to the sound of snowflakes settling on rooftops, fire escapes, and windshields. Streets were buried beneath thick white drifts. Traffic crawled to a standstill, and even the most determined commuters hesitated before stepping outside. Inside ABC's studios, however, the show had to go on. Ripa and Mark Consuelos were used to unpredictability. After decades in television, they'd seen it all: breaking news interruptions, technical hiccups, last-minute guest cancellations. But on January 26th, Mother Nature threw them a curveball they hadn't faced in years. No live audience. Normally, mornings at Live with Kelly and Mark began with energy. Music blasting. Kelly dancing her way onto the set. Cheers echoing off the studio walls as hundreds of audience members clapped, laughed, and waved from their seats. That morning was different. Instead of bursting through the entrance with her usual bounce, Kelly sat behind the desk alongside Mark, hands folded neatly, surveying a studio that felt far too spacious. And yet, applause erupted. Kelly blinked, then laughed. "That's loud for 6 of you," she joked, glancing around at the small cluster of staff members who had braved the storm to make it into work. The room filled with laughter, quieter than usual, but warmer somehow. The decision to cancel the live audience hadn't been taken lightly. Nearly 1.5 feet of snow had blanketed the tri-state area over the weekend and into Monday. Subways were delayed. Roads were treacherous. Winter storms continued to sweep across the country, grounding flights and stranding travelers. Safety came first. "We are audience-free today," Kelly explained, smiling brightly into the camera, "with the exception of the people that already work here." She gestured dramatically to the handful of crew members. "Yay them. Yes, behold the size of our staff. Gigantic." She paused, then added, "I like this. We haven't done this since COVID." The words carried weight. For a moment, memories of eerily empty studios and remote broadcasts lingered in the air. Mark leaned forward, slipping smoothly into his role. "Let's talk weather," he said. He reported that Central Park had recorded 11.4 inches of snow, impressive by any standard, though not exactly record-breaking for New York City. "That's not that bad for us," Kelly replied casually. "We've had worse." And she was right. New Yorkers wore their storm survival stories like badges of honor. At home, the storm had already made its presence known. Mark revealed that he'd been out the day before, shoveling the sidewalk area in front of their Upper East Side townhouse. It was very dry, he explained. It didn't stick to the shovel, and when you kind of moved it, it would fly off. Kelly listened intently, then admitted she'd wanted in on the action. I wanted to do it as my workout, she said. Mark, however, had vetoed the idea. You told me. It won't be satisfying for you. There's no workout in it, Kelly recalled, mimicking his voice. She rolled her eyes. So once I heard that, I was like, oh, forget that. The exchange was classic Kelly and Mark, playful, familiar, and effortlessly charming. Despite the storm, Kelly confessed she'd briefly hoped the lack of an audience might mean a day off. No such luck. Elsewhere in the city, people were digging out. ABC 7's Phil Tate appeared live from Brooklyn, bundled up against the cold as he described residents battling the snow. In the streets of Brooklyn, he reported, everyone is trying to just get up, out the house, and start to dig out. Kelly nodded knowingly. New Yorkers are going to be New Yorking today, no matter what, she said. That's the one thing. Then, as only Kelly could, she zeroed in on a detail. You know, Phil, she added, squinting at the screen. I really want to get that guy that's shoveling gloves. He was glove-free, and he's wearing a hoodie. It was the kind of observation that made viewers feel like they were sitting right there with her. Storms were nothing new for Kelly and Mark. The couple had weathered many over the years, both literal and figurative, in New York City. 12 years ago, they purchased their $27 million townhouse on the Upper East Side, transforming it into a luxurious yet welcoming home. Architectural Digest later offered a glimpse inside the space, revealing a design inspired by French elegance and old Hollywood glamour, with subtle nods to Mommy Dearest. It was a far cry from the snow-packed streets outside. But like the city itself, the home reflected resilience, style, and history. Back in the studio, the absence of an audience gave the show an unexpected intimacy. Without hundreds of eyes watching, the conversation felt looser, more conversational, almost like two friends chatting over coffee while the rest of the city shoveled itself free. Kelly and Mark leaned into it. They laughed. They teased each other. They carried on, because that's what New Yorkers do. As the show wrapped up, the storm continued to swirl outside. Plows rumbled down avenues. Snowbanks grew taller. And somewhere in the city, glove-free shovelers carried on undeterred. Inside the studio, Kelly and Mark signed off, proving once again that even when the audience disappears, the heart of the show remains. Because in New York, on television and beyond, the show always goes on.